Hello everybody, Hyper Mario Sunshine here, and welcome to my review of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, a remake 20 years in the making for this style of Paper Mario to return, and also a reminder that the second wave of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door icons and profile picture stuff are available, the backgrounds, the frames, and everything, and this time we have the shadows and Koops and Flurry, Hooktail, and Mario, and I did make Vivian my profile picture. Again, I would highly recommend picking these up if you're a huge Paper Mario fan like myself, before we get into the actual review. So, yeah, let us go, and yeah, I just gotta say that this was a long time coming. This is 20 years since the game was released. This July, in fact, it's going to be 20. But yeah, the fact that we haven't gotten a Paper Mario game a traditional Paper Mario game since 2004 is absolutely crazy. And yeah, I'm just so excited. You guys saw my reaction to Direct. You guys saw my multiple videos of it, and now it's finally here. It's been a little bit almost a week. I think it's a week now that I'm recording this at midnight. And I just gotta say, this game is absolutely amazing. I really have to just chill about it for a good bit. So first, I just gotta say the visuals. I love the visuals in the original. It didn't like age badly or anything. I think it's still aged pretty well. But man, the remakes visuals are just so glorious. I love the water, how it looks in this game. I love how like a lot of the area's lighting is just really, really good, especially in like caves, and also how your reflections off of everything. I just really, really like it. Also, some of the places have some really good lighting. Other places, like, it really shows when it's dim and dark, and like some places, like, they show like where the rays are, the little textures of like what looks papery and whatnot, and the sound effects too. Just, oh, it feels so good to the ears. I really like it. It's like they combine the best aspects of the Thousand Year Door with the modern Paper Mario games, like Color Splash and the Origami King. And yeah, this game, not only its visuals are great and its sound effects are great, and make it seem very satisfying just to listen and to play and to even look at. But yeah, it controls honestly feels even smoother than the original. Like, there's some parts that did feel a little clunky, like for example with like Yoshi, for example. Like, it took a while to actually build up speed while you're walking. And also you can now change directions pretty easily, unlike in the original. But the only downfall is with Yoshi is that he actually does not keep his speed while he's running towards the edge. I guess like those are some minimal changes. If you guys saw, everybody else still has remained the same in terms of their visuals, but also Flurry's wind effect now like shakes the screen a little bit. I like the extra effect. And it gives like a little HD rumble. I really like how they put in the HD rumble in this game as well. I've absolutely been liking the timing and whatnot with what they did. They've been putting it to some really good use. And the game itself has been absolutely a blast to play. The battle system is just as good, as not even better, than the original. There are a few things that I do think that they did better in the original. For example, there are a few attacks I think were more fun in the original. I guess not even attacks, like just one little thing that I think I had a problem with, and that is Sweet Treat. It's like when you're throwing it, I guess I'll show it off after the fight, but yeah, so Sweet Treat, for example, when I show it, it doesn't have like that snappiness feeling when you're throwing the crystal stars like in the original. I'll show that off right now. Because this is like one of the only few pet peeves I have with the remake, is that a lot of everything has basically almost remained the same in terms of how it feels. It doesn't have that same snappiness, like that sound, like I guess like that sound effect when you're throwing the crystal stars. Like, it doesn't feel as like you're actually like throwing it. But either way, I think it's just like a very, very minor inconvenience to me. I still think it's a really nice attack to use, and I still will go for it. And yeah, the battles itself are feeling pretty good. With the 30 FPS, it actually does get easier to actually land your counterattacks. So your super guard is pretty easy to hit now compared to the original. Although there are a few other changes I do actually want to point out, and that is with. I did actually post a video of this, and that is Power Bounce and Multi-Bonk did get a slight nerf. Actually, a more skill-based nerf. Now it's not as easy to land. I think after the third or fourth jump, it actually becomes a frame one timing move. And yeah, it becomes pretty hard to land afterwards. And yeah, it's just a bit, it's an interesting choice. I'm not complaining about it because I think it was a pretty smart move to make, in my opinion, because you made it more skill-based. You get people to use the new system that they added in this game, and that is that they added the brand new Dojo Toad, who basically acts like a tutorial, not a tutorial, but more so helps you with like the timing of attacks. And I feel like that is a very useful thing for beginners. And I also think it's very good for the Power Bounce timings now. It helps you practice and gets good at it. So I think I'll try doing it here. I did show it in my video that it is much harder to do, although it's just like showing like a 15-second clip. Yeah, see, it's like very hard to time. I believe it's one frame, then it goes to like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's like trying to juke you out more often. But yeah, aside from the nerf to Power Bounce, there are a few other changes as well, especially the menu. The menu UI looks really, really good. I honestly like this a little bit more. It looks even more cleaner than it did in the original. I do like the how it shows like a little scrolling in the tabs. And also like the mailbox SP just looks way more like you can see it much better. And also like the peach, I like the peach icons. Definitely looks more modern feeling, while still keeping that original 1000 Year Door feel. The badges as well have definitely gone a revamp too. I believe Tornado Jump is just as bad. I did mention Power Bounce already. Sleepy Stomp has gotten a buff. A lot. Sleep in this game in general has gotten a huge buff. You do not wake up immediately after getting hit, so it is kind of a double-edged sword. So if you get put to sleep, you won't be awoken by an attack, but your opponents may not also get awoken as well. So it's a much more useful badge, and also just Sleepy Sheep as well are a lot more useful. And yes, if you do want to, and I guess we'll go over this now, they added a brand new badge that's Nostalgic Tunes. If you put it on, you get to listen to the original music. So for example, yeah, so it actually now plays the original music. As you guys heard earlier, it was the other version's music that was here. And yeah, I actually do like this attention to detail. I think it's really nice that they kept it in. I think a lot of RPGs, or even games in general that have remakes, should honestly do that. But yeah, the game soundtrack as a whole, its revamped and original soundtrack are honestly amazing. And honestly, some of my favorite soundtracks in gaming as a whole. I actually will show off the new things that they did add, though. I'm going to take off the Nostalgic Tunes, but yeah, they added these two new things. And that, oh yeah, Notes I guess is new as well. Kinda. Actually, yeah, it is. Oh. So yeah, they added notes. This might have not been in the original. I don't remember all too well, but it does show you notes about the Shine Sprite star pieces if you're using the Fortune Teller or Merlovely. and also with the Trouble Center and your Destined Path if you're getting your fortune told. I guess that's with Ienfumus, when you do the Trouble Center one. Everything else is still here, the map. And honestly, I really like the change to the map where every place that you haven't gone to yet is grayed out, while the places that you're unlocking are getting colored in and getting a nice little pop-up texture. As we can see, I guess if we're in the cutscene in the Thousand Year Door, when you're putting the crystal stars, you will end up seeing that these little places pop up, like a little pop-up book in a way, and it shows you where your destination is. I do like that change. It's a nice little attention to detail. And they added 2 new things, and that is the art gallery. While I haven't unlocked anything, this will show stuff like concept art and beta stuff from the original Thousand Year Door and from the remake. So from what I heard, that is honestly pretty cool, and I can't wait to see them. I've seen some of it already. Obviously, we've seen in the trailers what Flurry looked like before in her beta designs. Like, she looked like a Bulborb, wait, crap, what the hell their names are? Oh, whatever. Or she looked like a different wind spirit as a whole. And also, Dupless had a lot of different designs as well. He wasn't even a Duplighost in one of those designs. And also the sound gallery, after you unlock all the shine sprites in different areas, you could unlock the different tracks. And in the Thousand Year Door, there are little different variations depending on how far you are in the game, or even like just how much progress you made. Even the characters themselves have gotten their own themes, as we will take a listen here with Coop. Yeah, so this game has been giving a lot of attention to detail, and just adding a lot of stuff that the original did not have, and it gives it a lot of good quality of life changes, which I am going to segue into here, and that is, for example, with Chapter 4, and this chapter as well, but a lot of the game has been having a lot of changes, and a lot of good quality of life changes, because I know a lot of people's main, like, flaw with Thousand Year Door is that its backtracking is very notable, and some people don't like it because of that. Now, I do agree that the original's backtracking is pretty iffy in some places, but honestly, this game definitely fixes it. And oh yeah, also this little attention detail, you don't immediately fall into water. Mario does stop himself, but if you keep pushing, or if you just jump over, you will still fall into the water. So if you accidentally make a little mistake like that, it fixes it right up. But yeah, another little thing, you could also, I believe they showed this off the partner ring, just pressing L, and also they did add a little feature to get a partner hint by pressing ZL. So wait, ZL and then regular L brings up the partner ring, ZL brings up the partner hint. But yeah, everything else is still very much intact in terms of, like, there are a few dialogue changes. Honestly, I feel like it's for the best. And honestly, it's still pretty fun. Some of the new dialogue is pretty funny. And obviously, there are some new additions to the script that have been put in here. Like, for example, there is one in the end of Chapter 1 with Koops' dad getting a new line of dialogue. And there's also Vivian, who's gotten several lines of dialogue. She's an amazing character as a whole. I love Vivian. Definitely her, Goombella, and Yoshi Kid are probably my top 3 characters. And speaking of the partners, they are all here. They're all honestly amazing. Just to, like, see their dialogue and whatnot, and interacting with the environment and, like, each world and other characters. Honestly, I'm really glad that they're all back. But yeah, the music is great. Graphics are great. The battling system is just as good as it was before. I did mention all the little small revamps. Also, the script did get a little bit of a change. As for that, there are some new additions that I haven't gotten to yet. There is some post-game content that is brand new. There's also the addition of beating boss fights and getting a cleared bonus. Much like in the modern Paper Mario games, getting a cleared bonus is very much a new thing. Uh, so yeah, if you by getting a cleared bonus, you end up getting coins after defeating boss fights. It's pretty interesting because I did not expect them to go for that, and they did. And it's honestly a nice touch because sometimes you do get a little bit low on money in Thousand Year Door, especially if you're buying a lot of badges. Especially for those doing Danger Mario strats, you might end up losing more money because you're trying to transfer over money from the parlor. But yeah, there is definitely some other stuff I would like to definitely bring up. And that is the 30 FPS. I did mention this earlier, but honestly, I don't really mind it. The original Paper Mario ran at 30 frames per second. I think this is just fine. I know, again, it definitely messes up a few things, like, it made the timing for the Super Guard much easier, but apparently in the code for Thousand Year Door, there is support for 4K and 60 FPS, and people are theorizing that we may be getting a Thousand Year Door upgrade on the Switch 2. So, yeah, this might be one of the games that might be getting a huge highlight when it comes to the next console. And the Switch 2 is definitely seeming to be that console that might even help this game look even better than before. Like, this is already an amazing game, and its remake is already pretty cool. But yeah, I'm really excited if that's the case. Like, this game's going to be running at 60 FPS again. It's going to be in 4K, so that means these already good-looking areas are going to look even better. As for the game's difficulty, I think it still remained the same. It definitely depends on your skill. As I will bring up, Power Bounce has definitely gotten a bit of a nerf. And for good reason, honestly. It is very broken. I feel like even beginners could get a good hang of it eventually. But it's a more skill-based way, definitely helps out, especially because Power Bounce is definitely one of the more broken badges in Paper Mario as a whole. Excuse me. The game's story, honestly, is amazing. It's one of the first times we see Mario delve into an adventure that is out of his territory. Going into Rogueport, which is a brand new area. He's not famous like how he was in Paper Mario and several other Mario games where everybody recognizes him and tells him to do his jump. It's definitely very much the opposite of what Mario expects, and I like that about Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Mario is in a totally different area and in just areas that he wouldn't thought he would have to visit or even go to. Just he looks way out of place, and honestly that's a good thing because he's the hero that these people need sometimes. While they may not know it, or they may seem very against Mario at first, a lot of the people in this game eventually grow and be fond of Mario, and him helping them all out realizes that Mario is a hero. And yeah, I just love the game. I feel like it did change for the better some of the chapters from the original game. As I mentioned before, the game is now way more accessible. Backtracking, for instance, in Chapter 1, there is a few bit of backtracking, but there is a pipe that'll take you right back up once you obtain a badge from the higher levels. Which is honestly pretty cool that they added that, because going all the way around is definitely a bit of a chore. Chapter 2 erased some backtracking as well, and it made it way easier to follow through. Chapter 3 didn't really remove any backtracking. It did add like a few quality of life changes, especially keeping what you have to do in Chapter 3, like the little conditions that you have to meet, intact. And it actually shows you on the screen while you're in battle, which is honestly really cool. I'm glad that they actually kept that. And the most infamous chapter of them all, Chapter 4, got a huge change as well. Now there's a pipe that will take you from the Creepy Steeple to Twilight Town. So yeah, a lot less trips needed for the game. For Chapter 4, and it makes Chapter 4 a very fun and entertaining chapter. And also, yeah, the chests now have their own theme. The cursed chests. But yeah, Also, Chapter 5, it now has a spring, so you don't have to go all the way around. Uh, I heard that Chapter 7 is also way easier now, but that's also because that Rogueport's Rogueport sewers, the blue pipes that take you to different lands, now have additional pipes for Chapter for for Glitzville, and it also adds a pipe to Chapter 7 as well. Those were two places that did not have any pipes from the Rogueport sewers going to them. And now that they're there, it's actually way easier to travel back and forth. It makes the help center, the trouble center, way easier to do any side quests, and even just traveling around and backtracking. It makes it way, way easier. And yeah, the dialogue is still very witty, and again, I feel like those are some huge quality of life changes that really help out. I know there was a couple people still being very negative towards the backtracking. I saw one Portugal review, and they're saying that the backtracking was too much, even though it's not as bad as the original. Like, it's way more forgiving and much better. It makes Chapter 4 very fun, as I mentioned before. It makes Chapter 5, you don't have to go through that whole little slog there. So yeah, I think this game is absolutely amazing. I adore the partners. Goombella, I love her sass. She is honestly the funniest character in the game. From her tattles, her dialogue, interacting with other characters, and whether it's a foe or an ally, I just love how she talks to them. Koops, I love his story arc. I think it's simple and effective. Flurry, definitely my least favorite party member, but hey, she has some cool moves. Yoshi Kid, honestly, still one of the best. He's just fun, and just fun to use as a whole. I love his introduction, and I love the fact that they kept the colors in as well. And Vivian, as I mentioned before, she is amazing. I love her character arc. I always love when a villain turns good. I love that kind of archetype. Her leaving her abusive family behind in order to go with people who are just way better treating of her, like Mario. Mario understood her, and was willing to help her out, even though he was her enemy at some point. Bobbery, I love his backstory. It's one of the first few times I got emotional in a game, and he's just a fun character as well. And Miss Mouse, while she isn't the best in battle, I love how memorable and her introductions are, and just how fun she is as a whole. She's got some witty dialogue, and also just some funny moments as well. I love that sort of Catwoman or Black Cat trope of her, even though I like how they're cat burglars, but she's a mouse. So yeah, I just love these characters. I could go on and on about each of them. I just adore all of them, and I'm so glad because I remember going over this in the past, but they recently announced, not recently announced, but Nintendo put out a survey before the game came out talking about characters, more unique characters appearing in future Paper Mario titles, and everybody's excited, or having some of these characters in this game return. And now recently, I believe they put out yet another another survey in regards to having these characters here, and I'm really excited. Hopefully Nintendo's listening, and I hope that the next Paper Mario game is just as good as this remake, because I'm so glad that don't get me wrong, I loved Origami King. I thought it was very solid, and that's coming from someone who very much dislikes both Sticker Star and Color Splash, but I absolutely adored the Origami King. And but yeah, I definitely think that going back to having, Mario enemies, but having their own personalities, and they're not actually evil, they're actually, just normal people living out their lives. It's a pretty cool thing, and I really like that. And I hope they do that with even more unique characters. We get more characters like Vivian, for instance, or Flurry, who are not your typical Mario characters, or even species for that matter. Or we get some new Mario enemies that haven't been used yet. We get a Bullet Bill partner or Shy Guy partner who have yet to even have an appearance. Because we got a Sparky with Watt and a Cheep Cheep with Sushi. So I feel like some other Mario enemies are definitely a little bit due for a run up being a partner. So I'm really excited for the future of Paper Mario as a whole, and I'm really liking the sales turnout for the game already. I'm hearing that it's already outsold, not outsold, but I guess it outdid Super Mario RPG Remake in terms of how well it did on its first week, and it's been equal with the Origami King as well. So this is very promising, and the game has been the highest selling on Amazon throughout multiple countries, including the United States, England, France, Germany, and Japan. This game is going crazy. Everybody's talking about it, and yeah, I did mention there are 2 new super bosses. Not that much additional content. Some of the stuff returning from the Origami King, as I mentioned before, also include the cleared part when you're after you beat a boss. And it also has kept the, well, if you get a game over, you can actually retry the boss or go to your last save or just return to the title screen. So very much like the Origami King. I definitely do like these Origami King quality of life changes. And also, a lot of the areas just, I just love the environments of all these areas, from Rogueport, Glitzville, Bogley Woods. Like, I enjoy Bogley Woods, how much it is, Chapter 2, but I didn't really like it in the original game as much. But in this game, it definitely upped the chapters that definitely were hurt by the backtracking. And also, they just look so good. They just look amazing, man. I'm so glad that this game is out. I am so happy, and I'm looking very much forward to the future of Paper Mario. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. How you guys feel about this game. Any memories of the original. What do you prefer? Which one do you prefer? Also, I just love the final chest here. How it's like, all right, you got me. I feel he feels so bad, like, but you're making him, feel good about himself. But yeah, I just love this game. I'm so glad that it's gotten a remake. I'm so glad many people are trying it out and falling in love with it too. But yeah, I'm giving Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door a 10 out of 10. Heck no, we're giving this game an 11 out of 10. It's broken my scale. There's probably one game that's probably... Like, this game and Fire Emblem Three Houses are my 2 favorite games of all time. It's, like, very back and forth between those two. If Fire Emblem Three Houses got a, like, visual upgrade for Switch 2, then maybe it might beat out this game again. But it's very close, and I'm so happy that this game has gotten the love that it deserves. So yeah, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door gets 11 out of 10 for me. It might go down to a 10 out of 10 to be more realistic, but just the hype going off of this, I'm just so happy. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching my Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door review, and stay tuned. I'm going to try going live on Twitch for my playthrough of Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door on my stream. I'm going to be doing a separate save file, so I won't be on Chapter 5, like how you guys are seeing here. But, yeah. Love my videos, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And next time on our reviews, I guess, will likely be Luigi's Mansion 2. Or just stay tuned to any of my other videos, like my Pokemon Legends Arceus Let's Play, any Fire Emblem Hero Summoning Sessions, any Smash Ultimate or Melee clips, or anything else in general. I'm just trying to plan a Pokemon card video as well to unbox some. So, yeah. So, we'll see you guys then. It might be Game of the Year. I think it already is. I don't think there's going to be anything that could potentially beat this unless the Nintendo Direct in June happens to have something that's even more crazy than this. Speaking of which, if you guys saw that I did go to Nintendo NY for both the release day and for the event for Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, so go check those out as well. I'm also going to be at Nintendo NY for both the June Direct and for Luigi's Mansion 2's release. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'm sorry that I delayed this outro, but yeah, we shall see you guys then. Once again, 10 out of 10. This is legitimately probably my game of the year. So yeah, thank you all for watching.